Joining me right now, House Majority Leader, Congressman Kevin McCarthy of California. And Congressman, it's always a pleasure to see you. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me back on, Maria.
So last night we saw the president return to this campaign style. I think he loves it, actually.
He really enjoys it. After he goes to these rallies, he'll come back and he'll talk about them.
Yeah.
He enjoys it.
Well, he feeds off of the energy. And he's talking about the economy. You did a great job with the tax reform plan, but there's a lot of conversation now that things are going to ultimately slow down in 2019 and 2020. How much of a runway might this tax cut plan and the rollback in regs really have?
I love how everybody talks. It's going to slow down. First, the tax plan was going to be Armageddon. The bonuses were crumbs. Right. Unemployment is now at 3.9. This is the lowest it's been in almost 20 years. So if someone's going to college, this is the best economy they've ever seen. Unemployment claims are at a 44-year low. That's 4 decades. And think about it. 48 out of 50 states now have a lower electrical bill because of that tax code pass-through. And how many millions of people got a bonus? And in one company, 1.2 million got a longer maternity leave because of this. I don't think it's going to slow down. I think you're going to see continual growth because this isn't the only thing that we've done. Look at just last week. Last week, Dodd-Frank reform. You know what that's going to do to the banking and the community, the small businesses be able to go forward.
More lending.
Yeah, right to try. So this is a person that's seriously ill, able to get a drug that's not approved yet within a trial, right? We just did more VA reform. The mission bill signed into law. We did NDAA, and we did prison reform. And that was all just last week. And now,
what a week.
Coming up, we got opioids.
Yeah.
There's not one person in America that doesn't know somebody addicted to something in the process. 174 people will die today because of the addiction. And we've got almost 70 bills coming to the floor. The Democrats fight us on that just as they fought us on tax reform. But just as that, we will not stop. We will solve this problem, work on prevention and others, and you're going to find a big June moving through. I think the economy is going to continue to grow. I look at what we did against human trafficking. This is modern day slavery. 70% of that all went on the web. We signed a bill less than 2 months ago. Backpage is shut down. You look at what Craigslist has done. One DA talked about 80% of all that was happening on the web has now been shut down.
So this is what you're going to be running on in November for the midterms, the story of what you've done this year.
Yes.
And the economy doing better. Is that your best shot to hold the majority come November?
If the election was today, we'd hold the majority. I mean, think about it. If you look at the generic ballot, where it was a year ago, plus 13 for the Democrats, somebody had it in plus 1 for Republicans. And that's because the economy continues to grow. Democrats fight us all along the way. We're stopping human trafficking, dealing with opioids, and they're fighting us in that process.
Well, it's the resist campaign, and they got to do something else in order to actually resonate with the American people. I got to ask you about North Korea.
Yes.
So is this summit happening? The White House moving forward with these preparations for the President Trump, Kim Jong-un summit on June 12th in Singapore. Mike Pompeo set to sit down with the top North Korean official, Kim Yong-chol, in New York. What's your take on this?
I think I see great progress. Also, not only look at the economy a year ago, look at where the relationship with North Korea with the rest of the world. I give this President Trump a great deal amount of credit. Remember, it was the Democrats who criticized him the way he was talking about it. It brought them to the table. He's able to shut the border down with China. He's able to bring North Korea into South Korea. And you know what? He's going to have the meeting if it's the right terms. And I think the rest of the world should look. Remember, when Reagan was meeting with Gorbachev, he had to get up and walk away before to get that Berlin Wall to shut down. President Trump will do the right thing, have the right tone, but I see progress in this meeting going forward, and I think it's because of the actions that he has taken.
So in all of this, you talked a lot about the economic issues going into November. You're expecting to do phase 2 of the tax plan, or is that after the election?
No, that's before the election.
You think you're going to get that done before November?
We'll get it done out of the House. Look, we've passed more than 800 bills. It's one of the most progressive houses that we've seen from progress moving forward, the number of bills. We got more than 500 sitting in the Senate. So yes, we will do phase 2. Kevin Brady will roll that out. It will make permanent the individual rates as well. And there's other places that we can continue to expand.
Will the Senate go for this before the election? So is that?
Well, you know what the Senate has done with the 60 votes, right? They vote not to even bring the bill up. After we had passed last year all 12 appropriation bills, the Democrats would vote not even about for or against it, just not even to have the debate. That's what's wrong. You've watched what they've done with any of the appointments. I mean, you take the last 6 presidents, the number of cloture votes when it comes to an appointment was like 24. They've done more than 88 just in this 2-year period.
Healthcare. President Trump teasing these new plans are on the way. He spoke in Nashville last night about it. What can get done in terms of healthcare?
Well, this is going to be administratively for association plans and others, what the Department of Labor can do, letting people more pool their plans together to lower the cost. But remember what we were able to do. The House was successful in passing the plan. We were 1 vote short in the Senate.
Right, you got the thumbs down from somebody.
But remember this, in the tax bill, the individual mandate removed. So we have made progress on this already. It's so administratively can even do further to lower the price for individuals, and we're going to do everything we can to solve this problem.
Are you still trying to rescind the $15 billion?
Yes, that's coming up. Look for that in June as well.
All right, let me ask you this. I was reading your social media earlier, and you tweeted out.
Do you follow me?
Yes, I follow you. Social media is being rigged to censor conservative voices.
Yeah, this has got to stop. If you look at what Amazon, they excluded the Alliance for Defending Freedom from their charity program because some liberal group went and did a smear campaign. Alliance for Defending Freedom is one of the most respected public interest law firms. They have 2 cases pending before the Supreme Court, but this is what's happened. Watch what Twitter did when someone did a pro-life advertisement. They said it was inflammatory, right? The saving of a child. Are we watching the 2016 what Facebook did? Or look what happened to Don Jr. over the weekend. They tagged his name as being, you know, a problem, like it was something not to follow this individual.
So what are you going to do about it? I mean, are we going to see heavier regulation against tech so that they are unable to censor conservative voices? Well, they're more powerful than they ever have been.
Think about how much of the media they control and how much information is provided. But do we know if a conservative message is getting out into the news feed? Because that's in doubt now after we watch what happened in 2016. Are people using their personal bias that they think if somebody's talking about pro-life, that's inflammatory? If Don Jr. puts out his name and someone wants to follow it, that may be a wrong place to look. It may cause damage, only because he's putting a picture of his child up. That bias has got to stop. Otherwise, I think we have to regulate this process and look at it in a serious point. We've had the CEO, Mark Zuckerberg, before, but I think these other CEOs need to come before too, and we have to look what's happening. We have the First Amendment in this country, but apparently in these organizations, if it's conservative, they're thinking second thoughts of whether that could be moved forward, and that's wrong.
Yeah, I think you make a lot of good points. Your priority come 2019, should you become Speaker?
Well, we've got a great deal. First of all, we want to finish off what we're doing. We got another tax reform to go through. We got infrastructure. We got opioids. We want to continue to build this economy so the next century is America's century, and that also means solving immigration.
All right, we will leave it there. Congressman, it's good to see you this morning.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.